ever been broke. Well, that's where I've found myself. I'm 52, broke, and I mean broke. I've got pretty big financial goals that I want to achieve, but one massive childhood goal that I've started about 3 or 4 years ago has come to a grinding halt because of my financial condition. I won't relinquish on it, and I will chase it until I've got it. I'm David, again 52, never dreamed I'd be in this position, yet here I am. And at the moment I'm just going for a quick walk around Nelson Airport. Cracking day, absolutely beautiful. So it's a 6k walk around the airport, so I thought I'd just give it a nudge and soak up some sun. But today is basically just discussing and talking about how I found myself in this position, and then later on I'll let you know what that childhood goal is. So I really want to use this as a platform to help others. I'm going to record my journey. I've got a lot of ground to make up. Basically tell and record what I'm planning, how I'm going to go about it, the intermediate goals I'll be setting, and recording the results all along the way. And it just might help some people in their own situation to know that they're not the only one out there who has found themselves in a bit of a predicament. Just to give you a real brief on it, the last 5 years have been pretty tough, really. I've probably had a bit of a midlife crisis. Had a partnership breakdown. I've had financial losses. I've had a section, well, I still have this section, but the value in the section now is diminished to the point where there is no value. The market plummeted, interest rates skyrocketed, and I mean, just the last 5 years has been the perfect storm for my financial demise, really. But my fault, didn't plan. And as far as money goes, I think I've been found to be probably very poor at managing it. My business was really struggling. I'm in construction. Well, I'm in the field of construction. So things over the last 3 years have just gone one way. It's downhill. I've had massive amounts of stress, anxieties, probably a touch of depression. So I was on a little bit of medication there for a bit. Things are going real tight. Work's gone quiet. Builders are gone quiet. So that has really dried up. So business-wise, it's dried up to the point where I've had to have assistance from my family to sort of keep existing and keeping my head above water. And to be honest, if it wasn't for them, I'd be pretty much bankrupt. So with the work and having dried up, I've now gone back on the tools. So I've been able to get myself a job back building. Well, every second week I'm full-time on the tools, and every other week doing work in my business or doing some independent work, building work. I'm trying to do this while being a positive role model to my daughter, who's 16. And I've been very open with my current status of finances. Unfortunately, she's been caught up in the aftermath and understanding where things are at, because right now I'm living at my mum's and stepdad's because I can't afford to rent. But the biggest mental challenge is trying to be a positive role model in life when so much has gone so wrong for me. But I've got to own that, and and try and pass that on to my daughter, so she can understand the mistakes I've made, and hopefully, you know, that she can make that decision herself to implement some strategies right from the get-go once she starts earning, to mitigate the risk of being in this position. And yeah, a lot of life lessons I've learnt that I can sort of share. One of the big things too, it's been a real mental challenge, is that I was really wanting to have a career change, and this was to chase the dream. And I started that about 3 or 4 years ago. And what that dream is, there's no coincidence that I'm walking around the airport. I love aviation, and it's been a childhood dream to be a pilot on a commercial sense. And yeah, 3 or 4 years ago I started that. I got myself into a position where I thought I knew my finances, but in the big scheme of things caught up with me really quickly. I was probably a third of the way through my flight training, had gone solo, and I had a secondary financial hit that come through that put paid to me being able to continue funding the flying. So it is the one place that I've there's a few places in the world, only a few, that I feel right at home, and aviation is one of them. It's it just feels like, I don't know, it's just, I can't explain it just feels where I belong. And whether it's going to come true or not, wait and see. But I tell you what, I'll be pushing pretty hard, and I hope you will join me for the ride. In the next video, I'll be talking about how I'm going about to achieve these goals, the steps I'm going to be putting in place. Again, I'll be sharing that journey, and even when it comes to the flying, I will get myself to a point of being able to share some of the practical flight experience. I've actually got my first, hopefully I've got my first PPL exam again next week. That's been part of the progression moving forward, ticking things off. I'll be very open and honest about the whole situation, how I'm tracking, how things are progressing, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Oh, dang. Those mushrooms. I do love me a wild mushroom. I'd love you to come along for the journey. Please hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Ciao.